Welcome to Inside the Nest. I'm Sophia Russo. Being a school in the Northeast is no easy task when spring sports start. Since we got back from spring break, the list of canceled and rescheduled games seems to be never ending. All the baseball games last week were canceled, pushing the home opener against Lehman College hopefully to March 21st. The bad weather hasn't stopped our spring athletes from beating records and reaching milestones. Baseball players Anthony Guarino and Miles Feaster reached 100 hits. Guarino against McDaniel College down at the Ripken Experience, and Feaster against William Peace during the spring break trip to North Carolina. Softball's Ali Cavallaro got her 200th career strikeout. Alyssa Borozan also broke 100 hits in their game against Widener. More on her hot start in a minute. Mike McCreary hit 100 points in the team's 20-5 win against Christopher Newport. That's only 4 right now, but there are plenty more athletes creeping up on their own milestone moments. The Red Hawks are on fire with more than half their seasons left to reach those milestones, and who knows what else.
Softball has had an amazing start to their season, and this is in large part to graduate student Alyssa Borozan, who has had a blazing hot start so far. She has gone an insane 28 for 38 at the plate. This run includes 10 extra base hits and her 100th hit, which leaves her with a slash line of a 737 batting average, 788 on base percentage, and an 1161 slugging percentage. She leads the NJAC in all of these categories by a large margin. Her teammate Stephanie Saritas is in third with a 556 batting average, which on teams with anyone else would make her the top of the list. These numbers have lifted the team's hitting average to 417, which is also number 1 in the NJAC. Next closest, TCNJ with a 352. From the 2021 season to the 2022, she made a massive jump from a 308 to a 408 average. If she continues this pattern, she could hit over the 500 mark, a feat only 2 players have achieved in MSU history. Teammate Jenna Maluso came close with a 494 final average last year. To add to Borozan's hot streak, she had a 9-for-9 day in 2 games at Myrtle Beach. That 9th hit was number 100. It's obvious Borozan is on a different level.
I would say a lot of hard work goes into practicing mechanics, but it's just as important to focus on the mental game and positive self-talk, believing you can do it and actually seeing it through. I know before I go up to bat every time, this might sound a little silly, but I literally go, I am Derek Jeter and Derek Jeter is me. And that's how I go into the box, thinking that, I can do it. I can hit like an MLB player.
After having their last 2 games in South Carolina's spring break trip canceled, the softball team got right back to work last week. They won a pair of doubleheaders against Centenary and Hunter. Half were won by a 5-inning mercy run. The team is 9-1 with 6 more games this week against Drew, Keene, and FDU Florham.
It's awesome. I love being home. I love being on our dirt. We got a limited amount of practices on here, but I really think we came out, being in that locker room before the game, we got really hyped and stuff, and then came out into the dugout. We came out strong, every single person on the team. Big milestones, Alyssa with the 100 hits, Allie with the 200 strikeouts. So just more of that, more having each other's back and kind of getting those accomplishments and getting those wins. So
everyone, we just support each other. It doesn't matter who's playing, who's doing what. Everybody just wants to do the best that they're doing and support their teammates for it.
The women's lacrosse team picked up their second W of the season on Wednesday against Morrisville State, the final score coming out 13-10. The Red Hawks had a great start with 5 goals in the first quarter. Amara Lukovic, Joelle D'Angelo, and Chelsea Stack all had 3 goals. Morrisville started catching up in the third quarter, and eventually the score was 7-7. But thanks to Stack and Ferrara, the Red Hawks secured the quarter. Morrisville had another chance to pull away in the fourth, but Montclair was not going to let that happen. 4 goals secured the win, coming from Ferrara, Lukovic, and D'Angelo. Now let's take a look at how both teams did on the road. On Friday, the women's team faced Mount St. Vincent, winning the game 9-8. It was a tough game, but a goal from Amara Lukovic sealed the win for the Red Hawks. The men's team took 2 wins in Pennsylvania this week. The Red Hawks put on a scoring masterclass, beating Misericordia 21-12 and Lycoming 20-10. The Red Hawks Sports Network team took a trip down to Maryland to cover the baseball team's game at Ripken Experience, Let's take a look.
How do you like the games, Holly?
She's freezing.
Well, she loves the field.
Coach Lorber and I worked together at George Washington for 3 years. I was the pitching coach, he was the infield coach, and we had a great working relationship. We're close friends now.
My name is Rohan, R-O-H-A-N, and this is a home run bucket. Our strength and conditioning coach believes that we should eat ice cream with every meal.
Starting off the season here at Ripken, a little warmer than last year, which makes it great.
For the past 4 years, Steve Freeman was nothing short of amazing. He has been recognized for his performance this season with many awards, including his most recent NABC D3 All-American Second Team. Coach Potts was also recognized as District 4 and NJAC Coach of the Year. The men landed an NCAA at-large bid, but lost in the first round, and unfortunately, the women missed the playoff cut. But that doesn't mean we don't have some great moments to look back on.
The men's and women's basketball teams have created magical moments in the 2022-23 season, and also had some tough breaks at Panzer Athletic Center. For both Red Hawk teams, there's a lot to be proud of, and some takeaways that both squads can take into next season. We start with who else but Agent Carter herself. Nikki Carter doesn't need a shield, but rather a basketball. Carter achieved first-team All-NJAC honors thanks to the fact that she only scored under double digits in one game the entire season. Whether she does come back for a fifth season or not, the senior guard has proven a lot in the 2022 season.
There for Isabel said on that block from McRae. Nikki Carter driving, and that's it! Nikki Carter hits the milestone! Wow!
It was really exciting. I knew there was a lot of people coming to support me, so that made me even more excited and wanted to get it for all my friends and family that came. And it's just awesome having such a good support system. People that graduated 2-3 years ago coming back to see it, that's awesome to see. So it just shows the culture we have and what a great support system it is.
Injury plagued his team early on, with the absence of Kendall Hodges, who had knee surgery early in the season. And with players like Carter and Megan Duffy missing games here and there, new faces had to step up and fill in the role. Teresa Wollock and Madeline McRae did exactly that. Wollock was a presence down low, bringing her D1 expertise and averaging the second most rebounds, blocks, and steals for the Redhawks. And the freshman forward provided key contributions off the bench, which earned her NJAC Rookie of the Week honor. But in the end, the loss of players and turnovers were just two of the big issues for the women's basketball team this season. The Redhawks averaged over 2 more turnovers per game than their opponents, and losing a playmaker like Hodges put a lot of pressure on Carter to score and lead. Carter had 441 of the team's points this season. The Redhawks missed the NJAC playoffs, but the future is bright for them going into next season. On the men's side, for a lot of the season, it looked like the Redhawks could not be stopped. Led by head coach Justin Potts, who won NJAC Coach of the Year, and senior forward Steve Bremen, who won NJAC Co-Player of the Year. And Bremen also crossed a major milestone by reaching 1,000 points in his collegiate career and just with the Redhawks.
That's 1,000 points for Montclair State!
It means a lot to me, obviously. It's a great milestone. It's not possible, but my teammates and coaches every day putting in a lot of work. Obviously, I put in a lot of work on my jump shot, on my offensive game, on my craft, on the things that we do within our offense.
The team stuck in it with the top of the NJAC for the whole season. On one side of the ball, the team was second in the conference in scoring. On the other side, Montclair State led the NJAC in defending three-pointers with a 30% rate from opponents.
Yeah, listen, we joke around and say shoot them up or sleep in the streets, and we're going to let them fly. We're going to shoot a lot of threes. These guys shoot it with a ton of confidence. They put a ton of work in. They believe in their ability to shoot it. We try to give them freedom at that end of the floor.
Other than the usual stars like Keon Price, Mike Jackson, and Kieran Flanagan, 2 players that really stepped up from under the radar was Kyrie Henry and Samar Abdullah. Henry shot close to 36% from 3 with over 100 attempts and dropped over 8 points per game while mainly coming off the bench. Abdullah never even started a game this season, but the two-time NJAC Rookie of the Week proved his worth this season. In key games against teams like Rutgers, Newark, and Stockton, Abdullah's minutes were utilized wisely, putting up double-digit points at an efficient rate. Even with the loss of junior forward Amir Williams, the Redhawks held their own and had high momentum going into the NJAC playoffs. Montclair State did get revenge from the Profs in the final regular season game. Unfortunately, the number 2 seeded Ospreys were too much for the Redhawks to handle in the regular season and in the postseason. In the semifinal, Stockton scored 8 more points off turnovers in a tight battle. The men's team made it to the NCAA tournament and faced Hamilton in the first round. And after a back-and-forth offensive explosion, the Continentals had the slight edge over the Redhawks. But Montclair State still had a very successful season and a lot to look forward to for next season.